In honor of hitting 5,000 subscribers on my channel, I wanted to do a tour of my entire Disney pin collection. I have a lot of videos on my channel showcasing my individual pin collections, and in those I talk a little bit more in depth about each single pin. So I'm not going to be able to stop and go through every single pin on these boards because that would actually take hours. But hopefully I can give a pretty good overview of everything that I have here, and also this will be a good update to some of my collection videos since a number of them are quite out of date, since obviously I'm always accumulating more pins. So sit back, relax, I hope you enjoy. I have no idea how long this is going to be, but I'll try and not make it take forever. But this will be every single pin that is currently now in my collection. When I was putting together my pin room here, I was right at about 500 pins, but I did get more pins on my recent Disney trip, so that number is a little bit higher, but at least in the 500 range is the number of pins you'll be seeing today. As well, I also have another video that's live right now of my 5,000 subscriber giveaway, so I'll also link to that here. But without further ado, on to the many pins. We're going to start with my Zootopia Pin Board, since that is my largest Disney pin collection. I've been collecting Zootopia since about December 2016, and I'm already close to hitting capacity on this board, which is about a 3 times upgrade from what I had previously. But if you can't tell, I really love Zootopia. I have things sort of organized by characters, so up in this corner I have a number of the Wilde pins. I can point some things out by series. All of these absolutely adorable little latte hidden Mickey pins, those are brand new from Shanghai Disneyland. Shanghai also came out with these super cute bobblehead pins. There's also this spinner pin from Shanghai. These are a mystery Easter set from Shanghai. This is an older Shanghai hidden Mickey set. This was part of a Hong Kong Easter egg mystery set. Just some open editions, Hong Kong open edition. This is a European cinema pin. This one is actually a fantasy pin. Nick dressed up in a Squirrel Scout uniform. Really pretty Studio Store Ellie pin. Then we move into here some of my Zootopia Pin Badges. All of these pin badges are from abroad. These are from Japan, and that is, as you can see, that is UK since it's Zootropolis. That was a little Disney Store release. This pin here is super gorgeous. This is from a Japan framed set, not from Disney Store Japan, but I believe it was released as part of a Disney Museum exhibit there. Then on this corner, I have quite a lot of the Judy Hopps pins. First, these are Hong Kong Disneyland game pins with Nick and Judy dressed up as vegetables, and they are just so cute to die for. Again, these are the Shanghai hidden Mickeys, a Shanghai Judy bobble, actually her body bobbles, open editions, again matching egg, matching Hong Kong, again cinema pin. These two Judys are from Disney Studio Store Hollywood. You can see they tend to reuse very similar artwork. This came in recently, the Zootopia Lunchtime Tales. I love the donut and the popsicle inside. Then there's some more Judy pins, Flower and Garden, emoji, classic one against her shield. In the center we have the big character block from Studio Store. Got Nick and Finnick, Don't Even is a cast member pin. Then I have the Flash pins. This is not actually a pin, this is a WDI Bolo lanyard. So I just put that on a little pin back there, and I display it as a pin. We have here some super gorgeous Hong Kong Ellies, Judy Big Donut Ellie. Over here are my little Clawhauser pins, also a Gazelle, Owie from Disneyland Paris, Studio Store Ellie, Hong Kong Teacups, Disney Store Japan pin, another Studio Store Ellie. I have the entire set of Disneyland Paris pin trading night pins there with all the characters. Gorgeous Hong Kong Disneyland pin. Down here, this is classified as a jumbo. It's from Shanghai Disneyland Happy Hopping Easter pin. They actually move around there. Super fun dangle elements. Got the Chief Bogo pins, both from Studio Store. One is a PTD. And then I need to highlight, this is the one and only Zootopia Mr Otterton Pin. Again, one of the new Shanghai Disneyland hidden Mickeys. I am so in love. I really want more Mr. Otterton or Mrs. Otterton pins, definitely. I have a Rogue Flash down here. Got Yax the Yak and Mayor Lionheart, Frou Frou the Shrew, and also her father. Then we have Little Elephanic. This one is a PTD, and again, just adorable hidden Mickeys. Another PTD, Jerry Jumbo Jr., and then finally some Assistant Mayor Bellwether pins. Really awesome WDI pin, a Studio Store Cuties, and then Hidden Mickey and Open Edition. So again, just an overview of everything Zootopia. Next, we move up to my Attractions and Resorts pin board. And this pin board uses a base map of the Magic Kingdom from 2006. So on the pin, Walt Disney World icon pin, that Minnie and Mickey, they're actually from Shanghai Disneyland. The attraction pins on there, you got your Tomorrowland attractions. This is the one I have there for Carousel of Progress, which I really love. Again, then Space Mountain and Speedway. We have the castle pin in the center. That's one of my oldest pins from 2003. Got Mine Train, Small World, Mansion, the mountains there, Pirates, and then Jungle Cruise. And this Jungle Cruise is actually a cast member costume piece of history pin. I love piece of history pins, and you'll see a number of them on this board. On the bottom, I have Disneyland and DCA pins. So this is a matching castle to the one above, a castle piece of history. Got Indiana Jones, and then some DCA related attraction pins there. Again, got more Disneyland and DCA attraction pins there. And then going up, I have pins grouped by the parks. So here are my Animal Kingdom pins. I have Typhoon Lagoon, Blizzard Beach. I also have a Winter Summerland mini golf pin. My family loves mini golf. I just recently got this pin. That is the Disneyland Diamond Celebration piece of history pin. I love the castle, like the up balloons. We have a Downtown Disney piece of history pin. Then we move into Hollywood Studios, where we have Toy Story Mania, Indiana Jones piece of history. You'll notice I don't have Tower of Terror here because I have a whole huge section of Tower of Terror pins. Then I have some more kind of ones that would fit into Disneyland since they are duplicates of what I have here. This is a Pirates piece of history pin, and this is a Haunted Mansion from Tokyo Disney. I have a little People Mover from Kingdom of Cute. It's a little bit too big to actually fit on the board where it should go. Just recently got the Disneyland 63rd anniversary, and then finally finishing up with some Epcot pins on the side. Now we're going to move up to my small little pin boards. These pin boards, I actually made them all from little cork trivets from IKEA. So they're great for smaller collections or miscellaneous pins. You can see this really is a mishmash. We have some Mickey and Minnie pin traders there. Then I have two Big Hero 6 pins, Fred PTD, and then a Tadashi and Baymax. High School Musical pin. I am an OG High School Musical fan. The year that the movie came out, my birthday party was a High School Musical murder mystery theme. So I'd really like to start more of a classic Disney Channel collection. Have some Indiana Jones pins. I hate snakes because I hate snakes. I really hate snakes so much. Then we have A Last Crusade, my favorite indie movie. And then my complete Brave Little Toaster pin collection with those two pins. And then a miscellaneous Cindy carriage. Jumping over, we have my little Lilo and Stitch pin collection. On top, I have two pairs of ice cream pins. The Stitch is just an open edition, but Lilo is a pin trader delight. Have a little monorail hidden Mickey. Stitch and Scrump is from Disneyland Paris. These Lilo and Stitch holding Pudge and Frog are older open editions. Again, some older cute palm tree pins. Another older open edition Thanksgiving style pin. And in the center is a Disney Auctions Lilo and Stitch pin. Now just a few of my Beauty and the Beast pins. A classic stained glass rose pin. This bell reading book is an Acme Hot Art pin from Pinopolis pin game. I believe I ordered this pin back in November when it went on pre-sale, and I just got it in the mail last week, so that took forever to arrive. Love the Beauty and the Beast. That's a Disney Visa reward card. They move. A Belle Crest pin. That was part of a whole princess collection. This center pin is actually from Singapore, so that's a cool exclusive. I have a Belle November pin because my birthday is in November. Two of the pins there from that Fantasyland Mystery Collection little Lumiere pin and a fancy pretty gold Belle pin. This pin board, I don't really know what to say about it. Obviously you can tell it's kind of barren because I'm anticipating more pins coming. Since you can see I have a Max Goof as Powerline pin, that's from Box Lunch. There should be releasing soon the Goofy movie. It's kind of like one of the newer style of booster sets where it's just 4 pins, so I want room for those on here. This is a WDI Shanghai Disneyland Castle pin. Just 2 little Moana pins there and a crest of all the princesses. Here we have one of my little Minnie and Mickey centric pin boards. The top left corner is open because I'm still looking for the matching Mickey hot air balloon pin to go with the Minnie. But otherwise, I have the heart hand pins, old school classic Minnie and Mickey. This awesome retro camping Minnie and Mickey. Those are from Hong Kong Disneyland. Janice was so awesome and she actually traveled there and picked these up for me. They are beyond beautiful in person. Super pretty pins. Classic Mickey in the center, and then we also have the It Started with a mouse pin, and then on either side I have 2 of my Walt Disney Family Museum pins. We're going to move down onto the first of my 2 large pin boards. We'll start at the bottom with all of my Emperor's New Groove pins. After Zootopia, Emperor's New Groove is definitely my next biggest collection. I love the movie so much. And what's great is that it's kind of underrated, so the pins are a little bit easier to get than the Zootopia pins nowadays. And there's also been some really cool designs coming out as of late. Here we have a Timeless Tail pin. I display these open. They're actually fold up into little books. Cusco and Pacha pin. This pin, one of my favorites. This is actually a super rare, I think LE150 Disney Store UK pin. Got a Kronk pin. This Yzma Key is also like an LE150. These are some really cool kind of slider or flip style pins. Got Cusco as a baby there. This one also flips to a different scene there. This is a fantasy pin of the little squirrel as a Squirrel Scout. Another pin that I love, this Yzma pin, is a cast member exclusive. Llama Potion is a fantasy. And then I have my Yzma Grails over here. So first Yzma Dark Tales, WDI Yzma Kitty, and then the WDI Yzma Villain Profile. We have her Studio Store stained glass pin. Love the Food and Wine pin with the spinach puffs. Disneyland Paris Ellie pin, and then front and center is one of the biggest and heftiest pins. It's the Emperor's New Groove 15th anniversary from Walt Disney Imagineering. This center actually spins and it's Cusco in his human form on the back, but I think he looks better as a llama. I have a few Kronk pins there. Of course, have to have the Yzma My Cat pin. Little Yzma name tag. I also have the Emperor's New Groove Lunchtime Tales. Got the spinach puffs inside, of course. I also have to talk a little bit about this pin. This is the Emperor's New Groove WDI Cluster pin. This is fantastic for a few reasons. First, you got awesome Kronk on there, and also you have Pacha's wife on there. And this is the only pin I have that she's on. It might be the only pin that even exists with her. We need more Chicha representation. Then some smaller ones at top. That's a Pacha PTD, a set from Box Lunch, an older Cusco pin, more Kronk Box Lunch, logo pin, and then we finish off with some even more Yzma pins, and of course Yzma Kitty PTD. And then this final Yzma was a Halloween pin, but I didn't like the text, so I scratched it off. Then on top I have all of my Pixar pins. I used to have Frozen here, but I was running out of room, so I had to move Frozen onto their own board. It also works better since I have now this whole section as just Pixar. We'll start up with my Wall-E pins on top. I relatively recently showed them all in a collection video, and I don't think anyone is super new. So these are all ones that I've talked about really recently and showed. WALL-E is my absolute favorite Pixar movie. I love the message so much. So of course I have to have some cool WALL-E pins. These pins here are from the recent 10th anniversary, and this is the one that I didn't yet have in for my video. It's an annual pass holder exclusive from Disneyland, part of their Pixar Fest releases. I have a few little up pins here. This is another Timeless Tales book that can fold up. Just some Tsumts. Also your classic grape soda button. It's just a teeny few Coco pins, beautiful OE, and then these two pins are actually fantasy pins. My only Finding Dory, Finding Nemo pins are just these otters for the cuddle party. Just a random Mike Wazowski Tsumtsum. I think Mike looks perfect as a Tsumtsum. It's a Joy and Sadness OE from Hong Kong. Classic Pixar lamp pin. And then I just have a few Toy Story pins. Most of them have the little green aliens on them. All of them are regular OEs, except I think this is from Hong Kong and that's from Disneyland Paris. So I assume with Toy Story Land opening that they'll be getting out some newer cool Toy Story open editions. Next we move on to my second large pin board, and this again is all attractions and parks related pins. We're gonna start in the bottom with all of my Splash Mountain pins. Splash Mountain is my favorite attraction at Walt Disney World, and you can tell I have a lot of Splash Mountain pins, so it's my primary attraction collection. Splash last fall celebrated its 25th anniversary in the Walt Disney World, and so I have two anniversary pins. That one's a cast member exclusive. This Splash Mountain pin here is one of the very oldest Disney pins I have. This is a WDI e-ticket calendar pin, but if you can see, there's a pretty blatant error on there. Instead of July 20th, it says July 29th. These here are just some open edition style Splash and Rare pins. That Minnie is actually a pretty rare pin from a framed set. That's a Splash Mountain pin from Tokyo Disneyland. A little Minnie, I think that's a cast exclusive pin. Here we have an older Splash anniversary Zip-a-Dee-Doo doll license plate. Splash Mystery and OE, and then we have one of my Splash Mountain Piece of History pins. On the other side we have my other Splash Piece of History pin, OE there, Tokyo Disneyland, older open edition. This pin sticks out a lot. It has a music box in it, but the battery in it is unfortunately dead. That Splash pin is also from Japan. Cute Minnie, old Hidden Mickey, and old anniversary. This Zip-a-Dee-Doo pin I just recently got from the Walt Disney Family Museum. Another Splash anniversary. This pin here is a centerpiece of my Splash collection, my gorgeous e-ticket jumbo pin. That was my very first original Grail. Some other common pins, and then one of my other Splash Grails. This is a WDI pin, and it is so beautiful. Thank you to Ryan from Disney Pins blog for helping me out with getting this one. I have a Splash Fast Pass pin, a Donald pin, and then some Brer Rabbit pins up there. Right above that is my Tower of Terror pin collection, and that is my next favorite ride after Splash Mountain. We have a WDI poster pin there, Disneyland Paris LE. This is a cool limited edition that says good luck, bad luck, LE dangle. Just some classic OEs right there. That's a Disneyland Paris OE, and this is my original old Tower of Terror pin. Got a cool cast member exclusive pin with Minnie, mystery pin. Those are some of the Tower of Terror Tsumts. And then just some cool OEs where that one actually folds up, and this one has a little piece that slides out. And then we also have a key with a tassel there, and then the other two Tsumts. Top left corner, I have my Pandora World of Avatar pins. I still have not been able to visit Pandora, but I really love the land, and so I have a lot of the pins. Of course, the opening day pins, that one is a little hinge. And then the ones on the outside are all OEs or mystery pins. In the center, these were all the LE countdown pins. And this was a limited release annual pass holder pin. You have your two attraction pins there, but I absolutely love all of these mystery pins on the side because they are very much geared toward the kind of environmental, earth science kind of stuff that I like. In the center, it's a little bit random. I stuck this Disneyland shiny sparkly pin, and then I have 2 year pins. These are the 2 years I visited Disneyland. I wasn't collecting year pins all the previous years I went to Walt Disney World, so it'd be a little difficult to work my way back, so I'm just going to stick starting from 2017, 2018, and onward. This is my small little collection of kind of extinct Disney's California Adventure, or the DCA 1.0 pins. I'm kind of tempted to collect pins from the first version of DCA, since I have a whole really long history version of what the park used to be like. This is a Superstar Limo pin, the worst attraction Disney has ever made. I gave this away in one of my giveaways and I liked it so much I found another for myself on eBay. This is a Bear Left pin from what the old theming of that land used to be. And then I had to move my California Screamin' pin over here because it's now the Incredicoaster. Here I have EZ for my initials, and then I have my pins from all the resorts I stayed at. So I retroactively got Wilderness Lodge and Old Key West, since that was before I started collecting pins, but then we stayed at the Poly starting in 2003, and so I have our Poly, Disney Cruise Line, Port Orleans French Quarter, Disneyland Hotel, and then my most recent Paradise Pier, which opens up like that. I have my 3 state pins from all the states I've lived in. Illinois is my original pin from 2003. That's where I'm from. I went to school in Wisconsin and now I currently live in Arizona. Just a few other personal pins. This is a November Marie Happy Birthday pin, since again my birthday is in November. And then I have some Mickey baseball pins. I have Mickey as a Chicago Cubs, since my favorite team is the Chicago Cubs. And I also have a little mini tennis player pin, since I played tennis all throughout high school. This is my whole sweets and snacks pin board collection. I love all the cute type of Disney food, and a lot of these are a little bit more sweets geared. I definitely have a sweet tooth, and a lot of them are also hidden Mickeys from the fun collections. Things are a little bit of a mishmash in here. I tried to fit a lot of pins on this board, but in the center I have one of my favorites, Minnie and Mickey baking Mickey shaped macarons. I have the Mickey and Minnie donut shop pins, and I have a number of matching Minnie and Mickey pins too. I also have little Minnie and Mickey pins that don't go together in sets, but I kind of put them together like this. It's a Mickey PTD, and then Minnie as a churro vendor, and then we have Mickey with ice cream and Minnie with cotton candy. Down at the bottom I have some more savory pins with some sushi and a hot pot. I also just got recently this Chip 'n Dale latte pin that's from Hong Kong and is super beautiful. I have these really weird looking Mickey and Minnie pins. Those are older ones from Hong Kong. And you can see I just have a lot of the fruits, a lot of the snacks, all of those hidden Mickeys, some of the macarons. I also have the full set of the Disney Cupcakes booster set. I totally love how delicious all of these pins look. Next is my collection of geology and earth science related pins. I am a geology PhD student, so I tried to find pins that kind of suggest geology and earth science. So you have Mickey as a miner. The countdown to extinction is what the dinosaur ride at Animal Kingdom used to be. We have some boneyard archaeology related pins with that, and the Pluto Montana pin. We have a rock hidden Mickey pin, Sam Andreas shakes, that's extinct from DCA. Coronado Springs, where they're kind of like archaeogeologists. Again, more Gold Rush. Another state pin with Arizona, since it kind of features the Grand Canyon. In a similar vein, Monument Valley from the Epcot Soarin' Mystery set. I have some space-related pins, Figment as an astronaut and Mickey as a lunar rover. I actually have this Dopey pin here because Dopey looks like he's mining some peridot. My awesome Jiminy Cricket Earth Day pin from Hong Kong Disneyland. A lava pin. This was from the Pixar short Lava. This one here is an extinct attraction from Epcot, Universe of Energy. Again, very science related. And then Pluto says science rocks, because it totally does. We now move on to my little collection of Rescuers pins. Up here, these are mini pins that came with a very old set. We have a movie poster pin, a Penny P Hidden Mickey, and this is Penny's Teddy. That's actually a studio store pin. Rescuers logo. This is an older pin and it actually does light up. It's one of the thicker ones. An old Madame Medusa pin. Have some Rescuers 40th anniversary pins. This one is from WDI and this one is from the studio store. We have another studio store pin that is Rescuers Down Under focused. A Disneyland Paris pin. This one is actually a box lunch pin. Another one of my beloved villain profiles featuring Madame Medusa. One other Rescuers Down Under, the Nurse's Day, and then the extra fourth tiny pin that goes with the ones on top with a little Orville. This is the last of the pins displayed on my wall, which are my Frozen pins. And like I said, I had to move them into their own little display since I was running out of room on my corkboard there. The center is a nice Tokyo Disneyland pin. And then on either side, I have these Anna and Elsa pins. Those are from Disneyland Paris. And then I have the Princess Crust pins for them. Little Olaf, 2 booster pins, Kristoff, Grandpappy. This Olaf is a Tokyo Disney pin. He slides up and down. A little Springtime Elsa. Elsa and Olaf OE. Your nice Let It Go Snowflake Mirror pin. These Anna and Elsa are also booster pack. In the center there, I believe it's from Disney Store Europe. You have a Valentine's Day pin and then a little Anna nesting doll and Elsa snowflake emoji. And then of course down here we have my Museum of Pintiquities framed set. This has my very most beloved pin with Mickey and the Mickey shaped geode. That's a whole reason why I got this framed set, but it also has some kind of anthropology and other science related pins. So this fits pretty nicely into my collection. These are all low limited edition pins, and this top completer pin, that's an Ellie of only 75. Those are all the pins I keep on my wall, but I do have some more pins. So I have 2 Eda bags with pins. These are the pins that I regularly keep in here, but I did switch them out for my Disney trip. So on the side, I have the full set of Walt Disney World's 10th anniversary pin trading night pins. And then I have a Minnie and Mickey from each of the international Disney parks. So we have Shanghai Disneyland, Disneyland Paris, Tokyo Disneyland, and Hong Kong Disneyland. And then on the side, you can see Mickey is dressed up as icons from most of the different park lands and some of the other attractions from the Walt Disney World parks. My second Eda bag is where I have some of my more miscellaneous Minnie and Mickey pins. Up at top are just some OEs, but here this is a Shanghai Disney Resort grand opening pin, and on either side those are Hong Kong Disneyland LEs, part of a teaching series, and at the bottom I have some Minnie and Mickey wedding pins, not because I'm married, which I'm not, I just love Disney weddings. I always watch the show Disney Fairy Tale Weddings, and it has always been my dream to one day get married at Disney World. I just have a few more pins to show, and they are my seasonal pins because I don't keep my seasonal pins permanently on my boards. I just bring them out to use as decorations for whenever the season is here. So here are all of my Halloween pins. I'd really love to get more Halloween pins, but I do like the ones that I have. Starting here, this one is from Japan. This one is actually some type of cast member exclusive. I think it's a lower LE, but I love the artwork. This one, and this one, they're all from Hong Kong Disneyland actually. These two glow in the dark, and this is an awesome jumbo. The center one here is from Disneyland Paris, so it's not necessarily Halloween. It's a bit more Dia de los Muertos style, but I think it really fits in nicely. And then a little Studio Store Figaro pumpkin popper. And then finally, I have my Christmas pins. I have 3 little cork boards of them right now. I just have some cute OEs from throughout the years. That was a Christmas 2016 pin. I think I got that because I traded for it. Then you have your Dancing Lights and Candlelight Processional from 2011 when we were there. Some really adorable gingerbread pins, and in the center, that's again a Wally and Eve Very Merry Christmas Party pin. An assortment of some other Christmas pins. On top is an old Tokyo pin. We have Minnie and Mickey from Christmas Jammies. and these were released from the Disney store last Christmas. Just some really nice Christmas pins. This one is actually a jumbo countdown pin, so you can move the days. And then we have a Babes in Toyland, because that is a weird movie and I like it. And then finally, these are the Christmas Tsumts. So in the center here, this is the complete collection of the Christmas Carol Tsum set. I was able to complete these because there were tons of these boxes on sale at my outlet and on the Shop Disney app. And then out here, this is an older set of the Disney Tsum Christmas pins. I don't have it complete, but maybe one day I can finish it up. Okay, so that was a tour of all of the pins in my Disney pin collection. Hopefully that was kind of fun to see everything that I have on my boards. This is a video that I'd probably like to update at least once a year, since I always end up getting more pins, and I also like to semi-frequently change up my pin boards and how I display them. But thanks for watching!